And a welcome back to Joe Robertson, the Tory MP. Now, he's been on the programme before, and you were all so shocked at home when we told you about the government's plans to stop call-out fees for rescue volunteers. Well, Joe Robertson, as you know, is calling on the government to ditch those plans.
Joe claims nearly half of Coastguard workers could quit their jobs if the government stops their pay for these call-outs to save lives.
Well, Labour's recently announced plans have caused concern amongst you, as the Coastguard is made up of 3,500 volunteers.
And they're paid when they're called out to save, well, if we're in trouble at sea, any of us in this country. Often they'll come to you if you do dial 999. Joining us now are Joe Robertson and the serving Coastguard and Rescue Officer and a working mum of three, Kelly Stockdale from Scotland. So thank you for joining us today. It's an issue for the Isle of Wight, where you represent Joe, and also Scotland around the country is an issue. What's your life like then? You can your pager goes, you get a text saying there's a problem at sea, off you go, and you drop what you're doing, don't you, Kelly?
Exactly. So we have a pager, it's on 24/7. Whenever I'm available, I have my pager on, and as soon as that call goes, it's a really loud noise, so it would wake you up in the middle of the night. As soon as that noise, the whole household, my children know, you know, what to do. The dogs know, they go and put themselves to bed. And wow. I go and put my PPE on, my boots on, grab my helmet and go straight in my own vehicle up to the station, where I'll meet with my fellow teammates, and then that's where we're looking at the details of the call, what we need. We're a specialist rope team, so we can go over the cliff face to save anyone who's calling for help there. So we might need extra equipment and things that we need for whatever that call out is, and then the blue lights are on and off we go.
It's incredible, brave work that you do, and you would have saved so many lives in doing that. Do you worry, Kelly, that if pay is scrapped for these coastguards, that some of your team may quit, that you may be forced to quit?
Yeah, ultimately that's our biggest concern, and it's not just we don't do it for the money, but the money allows us to do it. So it's always been recognised that for someone leaving their work to respond to help, ultimately anyone would do it. If we saw someone happen right in front of us, we might drop everything and go. But this is a huge commitment that we make, and we regularly and repeatedly go. Many stations have a huge number of call-outs. They're already on 200-300 call-outs, and we're only halfway through the year. So that could be 2-3 times a day where they're attending these incidents. That's a lot of time that they're leaving their work, and to do this, if it was unpaid.
£12 an hour is barely anything for the important work, the vitally important work you're doing. Yeah, quite. Joe Robertson, it says we understand that Labour has happened because of the Angela Rayner Employment Rights Bill, it seems. So because these volunteers are categorised as workers, to avoid giving people like Kelly employment rights, they're not going to pay them anymore.
I mean, look, this is the worst sort of ivory tower decision-making by the Maritime Coastguard Agency. It's a government quango, and it's extraordinary they took this all the way to the Court of Appeal. This idea that people that receive a P60 and an hourly wage, an hourly payment, are somehow volunteers. Absolute madness. What needs to happen? Government need to step in. The Minister needs to show some muscle here and say, no, you're not going to scrap payment. We're not going to scrap this payment. Yeah. We're going to consult and consider how we can deliver the best service for the future into the 2030s and beyond. Because, I mean, listening to Kelly here is absolutely madness. The government can find hundreds of millions for train drivers, yet it wants to, or is willing to sit by while money is stripped from brave Coastguard Rescue Officers. The Maritime Coastguard Agency have a lot to answer for here, because they misquoted to MPs in an internal survey. They told MPs that this is what Coastguard Rescue Officers wanted, to be unpaid volunteers. Yeah. Absolutely wrong.
And what we're talking about here, in order to fund the Coastguard, to this country, it's absolute peanuts, isn't it?
Yeah, it is peanuts. It is peanuts. We're talking about tiny amount change down the back of the sofa in terms of Treasury figures. And again, I go back to the Maritime and Coastguard Agency. There is an issue here of a sort of arrogant culture, ivory tower decision-making. Those who make these decisions have no idea what it's like on the front line. They have not met and consulted properly with people, brave people like Kelly, and that's why MPs cross-party are saying enough is enough.
Well, Kelly, I mean, people are saying now, in fact, Joe's saying that half of your colleagues could quit if the government stops paying them, and that if A, will that happen, and B, what will it mean for people at sea? If they're in trouble, will they dial 999 and no one can come and save them?
Well, ultimately, there's two things there. There's one, if people aren't able to attend, then we would have less who might attend for an incident.
Longer to get to them? Longer to
get to them. We'd need people from our flank teams to come. So that if that's 20, 30 minutes away, I mean, I swim in the Scottish Sea.
You're a very brave
about
woman.
10 minutes, 15 minutes max, an extra 25 minutes. That's a really long time to be waiting for people to come to help. And that would put stress on us. I wouldn't like to be there hearing someone calling for help and knowing that I couldn't attend to them because the minimum numbers are needed. The other thing that's a real issue is the people who leave. We all work as a team and they have the skills and the knowledge and the experience, so they're able to help and support us. They know the coastline, they know the area. If they've been working for 20 years, if we lose those skills, then that's where we'll be in real danger too.
Well, with all of that in mind, Kelly, would you be concerned that people could die as a result of this decision?
I think many Coastguard Rescue Officers, that's their biggest concern. This isn't necessarily about the remuneration, it's about what might happen. Ultimately, we live in the coastal areas that we serve, so we all live 10 minutes from the station. I have 3 children who swim in the sea, who paddleboard, who walk along our coastline.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that everyone who lives at the coast or who visits the coast is safe.
OK.
I'd just say, yeah, this has an impact on the police and ambulance too, because in coastal areas, these are environments that the ambulance service and the police aren't equipped to operate. So you get the Coast Guard there who actually coordinate and facilitate access to cliff faces, to beaches where there's no road access.
Yeah.
So it's got a big implication on the NHS and policing too.
Jo Robertson and Kelly Stockdale, serving Coastguard officer and a working mum. Can we all say thank you on behalf of GB News for all of your service and your colleagues? It's absolutely vital. Thank you.
It is a vital service. Thank you so much.